your Comedy Minute. I'm Scotty T. I am really excited. I have a fantastic musician, songwriter, comedian. Carla Ulbrich is with me. Carla, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. I'm giddy. We were chatting a little before we started the recording, and Carla and I have a lot of stuff in common.
Yes.
Well, let's start first. Let's start at the beginning. You're in New Jersey.
I live in New Jersey. Today I'm in South Carolina gigging, but I live in New Jersey, central New
Oh,
Jersey.
that was going to be my next question. Where are you from originally?
I'm originally from South Carolina.
Okay, yeah, I've been there. My brother used to live down there. Which
Great.
one do you like? Which one do you like better?
Well, if I have to pick sides, I love living in South Carolina, but there's just so much more to do in New Jersey.
It's hot in South Carolina in the summer. Oh
It
my
was
God, is it
muggy.
hot?
It's so humid too.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's move on because there's so much to cover. Uh, you not only do comedy, but like on your YouTube page, which I have those numbers written down, you've got unbelievable numbers over there. It says guitar comic. Is that what you would label yourself as?
Yeah, I do comedy and I do funny songs.
Yeah. Yeah. One of your songs recently went viral, CPAP song.
Yes, the CPAP song, my poor husband. Yeah, I'm making fun of his CPAP machine.
Are you really?
But a lot of people seem to be able to relate. It's like over 900,000 views on Facebook.
900,000.
Yeah, just took off. It seems like everybody in the comments can relate to it.
Well, it's done to, it reminds me of Squeezebox by The
Yeah,
Who.
that's right. It's a parody of the Squeeze Box.
Yeah. Yeah. My parents used to love that song.
It's a good
And
song.
you have another one that I saw where you're doing We're Not Gonna Take It by Twisted Sister.
Yes.
And I went over and I will cover because you have Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. Um, I went over to Instagram right before we come on, and you posted you in a nun outfit doing the Twisted Sister. And it took me a second. I said, man, this is one witty lady.
That's right. Twisted Sister.
Yeah, right. No, it took me a second. In other words, I got one bloodshot eye open this morning, whatever time it is. And I looked at it and then I thought, Twisted Sister, a nun. Oh my God.
That was actually, I was playing at a Catholic fundraiser and they wanted a nun impersonator. I'm like, okay. I had to make sure I didn't buy the sexy nun costume. That's all I wanted.
Well, Carla, where do we start? I'm guessing the guitar playing came first,
Yes. I actually
right?
wanted to be a classical guitar player. That was
Right?
my goal in life when I was 4.
You
Was
were
a little bit
4.
nerdy. Just a little bit of a nerdy kid.
Are you being serious? 4 years old, and you knew you wanted to be a classical guitar player.
Yes, and as you can see, that didn't quite work out.
Well, did you start playing guitar at 4?
I tried to, but my teacher didn't know how to teach a 4-year-old, so she told me to come
Right.
back when I was 8.
So then let's just keep moving along if you don't mind. So at 8
Yeah.
years old, you started playing guitar,
Yes.
and your love for guitar has gone on now all this time.
Oh, absolutely. It's
Yeah. Do you
really
have a
fun.
large collection of guitars?
Not really. I have about 6.
Okay.
I guess if you're not a guitar player, that sounds like a lot, but um, I, you know, you can't have too many guitars until
That's
unless you don't have anywhere to sit down. Then maybe that's a problem.
right before we started, I told you that I'm buddies with Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick.
Oh, he has a ton of guitars.
I was going to say, I think he has 150 or 200 or more.
Yeah, yeah. So my 6 is like dropping the bucket.
Well, you have one there? You want to
I
play a little?
do.
Yeah, it's up to you, but I mean, you could play a couple songs for us if you'd like.
You bet. I'll do the CPAP song since that's
That's wonderful. That'd be
so
great.
popular right now online. Yeah. It's funny after you get married, how things change.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't do.
Take your time. Take your time. I'm a music guy, if you don't know. If you went to my Facebook page, I worked in the music business my whole life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I worked for RCA Records. I worked with, in other words, I have pictures with Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top. There's another guy's got a lot of guitars.
Yeah.
Billy has a lot. Yeah, I worked with a lot of musicians in my life.
Terrific.
That's why I said we'd get along just fine. Go
Oh
ahead.
yeah. Yeah, we
Go
got
ahead.
similar tastes.
Go ahead.
All right, so this goes out to my husband who puts up with my making jokes about our marriage. Joey's got a CPAP he wears on his face. He looks like a creature from outer space. When he's holding me near, Darth Vader's in my ear. Joey's got a CPAP. Carla can't sleep at night. It goes in and out and in and out. Joey's got a CPAP. Carla doesn't sleep at night. He goes, kiss me.
Come on.
With that plastic mask and tube. Just not in the mood. Joey's got a CPAP. Carla's on the couch tonight.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's
A
wonderful.
Cheap Trick parody. I love Cheap Trick.
Do I want you to want me? I want you to want me. I need you to need me.
Yeah, I need to do that one. I
There
love
you
that
go.
song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll tell the guys you're gonna do it.
I just need about 1 million Japanese people screaming in there.
Well, I shared with you, and before you play another song for us, I worked in the music business, and a young lady that's supposed to be coming on the show, she calls herself a combination of Dua Lipa and Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh, that's a interesting song.
And I told her, because she's young, she's a young girl, I said, I actually sold Weird Al Yankovic records. That's
you
true,
sell his
too.
records? Is that what you said? Do you sell his
Yeah.
records? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
When I started with BMG,
Oh,
he had a
wow.
record on
Yeah.
Scotty Brothers.
Yeah, nice.
And that's what, your stuff reminds me of, parody songs. And, I just love it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was, and
does
you play really well too, obviously.
It's not classical music, but
Hey,
it's in
I think you put me to sleep if you played classical. Go ahead. You want to do another one?
Sure. Let's see. How about this one? This one's about riding on the airplane, and this is one group of passengers on every flight who really get on my nerves.
Okay.
You can't lift 30 pounds, but you're sitting in the exit row. Yeah, you insist on hanging around, just sitting in the exit row. You're drunk as a skunk and you might be high. If we had an emergency, all of us would die. But you say, oh, yeah, I understand the responsibility of sitting in the exit row. Staying calm in emergencies is hard. When you're sitting in the exit row, you haven't even glanced at the safety card. And you're sitting in the exit row, they're giving the safety speech. You're playing on your phone. In the event of a water landing, folks, you're on your own. It looks like we've just got dead weight sitting in the exit row.
Man, Carla, you can go on. You know what? I don't need to say anything else. You just keep playing. Go ahead, do another one if you want. That's up to you, but I love it.
All right, here's
I had no idea, because I got to tell you, and for people just watching, Carla and I never met. And so I had no idea. And I was actually going to send you a message beforehand and say, hey, make sure you have your guitar. And here you are. And I just couldn't be happier.
Oh, thank you.
It's much better than me talking. Go ahead and do another tune.
All right. I cannot say Worcestershire sauce. I can't even spell it. Do you think it's still okay? Pop the cap and smell it. Questions of the ages posed by Aristotle. Does anyone live long enough to buy a second bottle? I'm thinking, no. Just gets passed down, part of the estate. Here you go. You get the doilies and the Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire sauce.
Remember me every time you make teriyaki salmon. I don't know. I don't know what you use it for. I'm a terrible cook.
I was thinking steak, but that's
Oh,
okay.
steak, yes. That's
Worcester. I love how you say it too. It's about how I say it. Worcestershire sauce or something. Yeah. Well, it's just amazing to me that take these. How does it happen, Carla? How do you like the CPAP? How did that come? In other words, you just playing squeeze box, or in other words, I'm trying to figure out how the.
Oh, no, it's usually word singing. I wasn't sitting around playing the guitar. I was just, sometimes I get ideas for songs because I'm teaching the song to a student, so the
Yeah,
song gets in my head.
you're
I
a
hear it every
guitar
week.
instructor for people that are just what guitar instructor as well.
Yes, I'm part-time. I've got
Yeah.
about 100
Okay.
students. And so sometimes the song will get in my head,
Right.
and then I think usually I get an idea for a song because something annoys me.
Right.
Like for example, I was teaching a
Go ahead.
beginner, and they were doing Clementine. Oh, my darling Clementine.
Right.
And after about 17 times hearing this song, I was like, in an orchard in California, when two oranges were combined, the strainer's needless because they're seedless, and they call them clementines.
Right.
Just made it a little less annoying for me because I was making fun of it.
Is that something that you teach the kids to play, and that you've heard it so many times?
I haven't taught them the parody. Maybe I should.
No, 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 no. Have you ever heard it? I only ever did one, and I just did it recently. A dirty John Valby, I think is his name.
Sure. Yeah.
Barnacle Bill the Sailor.
Oh, I don't remember that one, but
You
I
never,
probably
you
would know
never.
it if
Oh
I
my
heard it.
God, Barnacle Bill. It's dirty. It's really dirty.
What? A lot of stuff's dirty. That's his name. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Dr. Dirty. You're right.
Yeah. Dr. Dirty.
Go ahead. I'm ready for. But I have to ask: is that Jets on your shirt?
Mets.
Oh, the Mets, the New York Mets. Okay.
Button for punishment.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like the Jets.
Yeah.
The reason I asked, my buddy's a Jets fan. That's why I asked.
Oh, yeah. I don't
couldn't tell.
understand this relationship between New York and New Jersey, where they can take a New York team, plop them in New Jersey, and they're still called the New York. How does that work?
Oh my.
I think we're in an abusive relationship. They're like, okay, we're going to get the branding, the TV rights, the name, the money, but you can have the trash and the traffic. Jersey's like, great, sounds like a good deal.
Oh my. Well, I lived in Philadelphia for years, and I've been through every part of New Jersey. That's Philly, New Jersey. That's tough. You got to be tough. You got to be tough.
Gotta be tough.
I think so.
I agree. Jersey strong.
Jersey strong.
Jersey strong. That's the saying.
You gotta swear you gotta swear.
Oh, well, have I got a song for you? Yeah, there's a lot.
Go ahead. I'm ready.
Swearing in New Jersey and New York.
Here we go. Oh wow, this is wonderful.
I won't do any actual swearing.
It don't matter to me.
Okay. But I'm from
I've
South
seen
Carolina, so
I've seen you have this set up before.
Yes.
In one of your videos.
Yeah. I got up to Jersey and I was like, man, everything's expensive. And the traffic is crazy. Nobody will take my Confederate money. What's up with that? So I called him like, y'all, it's every other word. Every other word. F this, F that. Then I got an idea how I could capitalize on this habit.
Right.
If I had the copyright on the word, I'd say, fuck this job and yourself, No need for hard work and no need for luck. If I had the copyright on the word, not a gasp, not a sigh from my mouth would be heard. Nope, just a cha-ching when I hear the F word. If people got jealous of all of my wealth, I tell them to copyright. And if I had the copyright on the word, it would roll off my tongue like water off a duck. Four-letter word usage is perfectly perfectly honed. I could retire on Jersey alone, where they say, motherfuckers, I don't give a if they can't take a stroke, then I hate what the those will you. So don't get up, quit fucking around, or you're gonna get. If I had the copyright on the word, I'd say this job and yourself, you know. No need for hard work and no need for luck. If I had the copyright on the word.
My goodness, that you know what's great too, Carla. I'm not proud to admit this, but we just came about that we're going to do this. But I don't know, like I only saw a little bit of that. Yeah, I saw, you know, words I didn't have a lot of time to go through. I've got so many of these and so many people coming,
Sure.
you know, that I try to, you know, at least do some research. But I saw that get up and like I heard the CPAP, you know, a little bit. I didn't heard the whole thing, but my God, you're an amazing, amazingly talented young lady. Jeez
Oh,
Louise.
thank you.
I'm telling you from bottom of my heart. Well, I'll say this. And I'm not, this is just me being, I'm always, you know, comedians, you know, you always try to, you know, second guess this and that. For people that aren't music lovers, maybe don't appreciate it like I do. You know what I mean? In other words, someone that just wants to go see a stand-up comic may not get the same reaction from someone like me that loves music and knows the songs. And that right there was just, oh my God.
Thank you.
Yeah. How did that one come about?
Oh, that I was actually standing outside the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville. I'd just done a few songs,
Okay.
and I was standing out there with my friend Steve Key, and a couple people from Jersey walked by. This was 20 years ago. A couple people from Jersey or New York, couldn't quite
Right.
place the accent, walked by, and they were like, "F this, F F F F F F," and
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Steve looks at me and goes, "Man, if I had the copyright on that word, I'd be a rich man." I said, oh, "Steve, that's hilarious. You got to write that song." And he looks at me and goes, "You can't write a song about that." I'm like,
You
"Well, I'm
did.
going to then. If you're not going to do it, I'm going to do it."
Yeah.
And then I went to a dinner with somebody else who was there. We went to found like the one place that was open after 9 o'clock in Nashville at the time,
Right.
and he was the cook at the Bluebird at the time, but also a songwriter. Everybody who works there is a songwriter. And we were talking. I said, "I'm going to write a song about how rich I'd be if I had a copyright on the F word." He goes, "You can't write a song about that." And I'm like, "That's it. I will definitely write this song."
Yeah.
If two people in Nashville are like, "That's the worst idea I've ever heard," then
It's
it's got.
probably, yeah, it's a good idea.
If Nashville hates it, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And I wrote
Well,
it on the steering wheel as I was driving.
that's it. Well, let me just because I want to interject a little bit because we do want to make sure we cover. You have 9 CDs out, 9 independent CDs out, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because and I'll make sure, like I said, Carl, put all the links to everything when I air this. It'll probably be about 2 weeks from now, but I want to make sure that we get, you know, so people, if they want to pick up your stuff, besides come seeing you live, you know, I want to put everything out there. And these CDs are all available on Amazon or
I don't know if they're all on Amazon, but they're definitely on Bandcamp and everything's
okay,
on Spotify and all the
yeah,
streaming platforms. And some
right,
of them
okay.
are on Amazon. I haven't looked in a while, so I'm not sure what's
Yeah,
where. But
and you know what? That just shows how old I am because I'm thinking Kid One CDs. They probably want downloads. You're right.
yeah,
Spotify
there's
or
still
whatever.
some people who buy CDs, but I think Bandcamp, like everybody has stopped distributing them. So,
Yeah,
uh,
no, I just have it written down because, you know, again, I try and compile the information. And also your songs have been featured on, and again, I know this, but some people don't. Besides Sirius XM, Dr. Demento's show.
yes,
That's really cool.
I just went to his birthday party, as a matter of fact.
Did you really?
I did. He's
You
so
know, the
nice.
first time I heard a song that I remembered was on Dr. Demento was I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than a frontal lobotomy.
Nice.
Have you ever heard that?
I've heard the line, but I haven't heard the
Yeah,
song.
no,
I
yeah,
think
no.
that's a quote from Groucho Marx, right? I think.
He played the song. I mean, you know, and I just love parody songs.
Yeah, he plays a lot of great stuff. I mean, he's still got his show going on the internet.
Does he really?
Yeah, he still puts a show together every week.
And you said you went to his birthday party, is that right?
I did out in Los Angeles. He's 83 now, and he's been doing his show for over 50 years.
Yeah. That's
Yep.
wild because I just had a fellow on a week or so ago. I mentioned John Valby, Dr. Dirty, and Barnacle Bill the Sailor, because I did a rough version of that on my one of my comedy minutes. Just it's really dirty. And he said I was at his birthday party last night. He was in Florida. And he's like 83 years old. And he said he performed and was, he ended with Barnacle Bill the Sailor.
Terrific. So he went to Dr. Demento's birthday party too?
No, John Valby, Dr. Dirty.
Oh, his birthday party.
Yeah, down in Florida. I'm sorry. He went.
Yeah, the guys must have spaced out for a minute there.
No,
Yeah, okay.
it may be me. I don't know. I'm not
His
getting
own
enough
birthday
oxygen.
party.
I'm
Okay.
not getting enough oxygen. I also have Steve's big dumb show with farting. That was good.
Oh gosh, that was a one-time thing.
Was
Uh,
it?
that, that was an after party, the day after Dr. Demento's birthday. A bunch of comedy musicians were hanging around, and Steve
Yeah.
Goody was doing his Big Dumb Show, and then he had me up as a guest to do the F word song, and I was like, I don't have my guitar. He said, you can use my guitar. I said, I don't have my bleeper. He goes, I got you covered. So I started singing, and he was doing the bleeps with fart sounds. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't. That's why I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I only watched part of it. I just kept hearing the farting.
Yeah, that's not part of my usual fare.
No, it was much better with the blower.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, just because I'm curious, you've obviously played a ton of places and done a lot of shows. Do you have a favorite show that you've done so far?
A favorite show. That's hard.
Well, we can go the other way. We can go the other way, Carla. The least favorite show, or one that you didn't like at all, or where you weren't well received.
Oh well, sure. There was
That's
a
probably better anyway.
yeah, there was a bar in well, let's just say Southern Illinois. I don't want to out anybody, but it was let's call it Steve's Music Lounge, and and that's not the real name. And I showed up. I had a brand new booking agent. He didn't know I didn't have any following in this town,
Right.
and this club doesn't have its own built-in following. So I showed up. There were like four people there, including the owner of the place,
Right.
who was behind the bar,
And two of them are playing pool.
and he was drunk, and he belched through my entire set.
Right.
And there was ladies' underwear hanging from every fixture in the
Oh
ceiling.
my God. Oh my
And
God.
then after the show, he's like, "Okay, well, let me show you your accommodations." And it was a futon in his apartment.
Oh, good Lord.
And I said, in the living room, not even with a door.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I said, "Oh, thanks, that's really nice, but I already have plans." And
Yeah, I
I
got a room.
slept in my van. That felt safer.
Oh my God, Carla.
So yeah,
Wow,
that
that really is
makes the bottom 10 list for sure.
what's that?
That makes the bottom 10 list.
Bottom 10?
Yes.
You want okay, well, since you did that, do you have a favorite or a couple favorites that stick out that either really large crowd or really receptive crowd, or that you feel like was just phenomenal?
Sure. I'm trying to. I mean, there's so many. Like the place I'm playing this week is in Myrtle Beach at Comedy Cabana, and I love this club. It's my first
Yeah.
time. Just terrific, great
Yeah.
people, so nice, and love being back in my home state.
Yeah.
And there's another club up in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. This is called Comedy Cabaret.
I'm in York, Pennsylvania, and I know Doylestown real well.
Yeah, that is a great club.
Yeah,
And
I
also
know.
a super nice owner.
Yeah.
I like that club a lot. And he hires really nice,
Yeah.
nice comics, friendly comics who are also really good at what they do. So it's just nice to work with good people. And one of the other things that I used to do, but I don't really have time to do anymore, I used to teach at a summer camp out in New Mexico and would teach
Okay.
kids. I just love camp. I
Yeah.
love, like, that's one of my fantasies is to own a camp. I don't know what the theme would be. But just to own a camp and just have retreats all the time and live camp life, and it's
Wow.
it's just so
I
it's
think
so
I'll give you a tip. I think it would be music. You could
well,
have a
yeah, you're
music
probably
camp.
right. It would be music.
Music camp. Yeah, that would be wonderful, man. And no, there's probably nothing more the kids could use these days to get them off the phones. And boy, that would
Oh
be
yeah.
wonderful.
They're not allowed to use their phones during the week, and they do a really good job with the counselors. The
Yeah,
counselors basically do all the discipline, and they stay with them in the dorm. All I have to do is teach and
yeah.
play volleyball. That's required. That
Okay.
the teachers and the counselors have a match playing volleyball every week, and
Okay.
you know, it's
Wow.
sometimes embarrassing how bad we are, but it's really fun. We have square dancing, and then just stupid dancing, like just like back when we were kids in the '80s, just jumping around to loud music and music all day. And it's exhausting, but every night you go to bed happy. It's so
Sure.
great. And at this camp that I used to teach at, I've taught at a few camps, but this one that I'm talking about,
Right.
it's an overnight camp that's kids, because I've taught at camp. I've taught at National Guitar Workshop, which is all adults,
Right.
and a couple other camps. But this camp is in the mountains of New Mexico, so it's just magical up there. It's
I'll
just
bet. I'll bet.
yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
I'm
really
like you, having worked in the music business, I've been in like 30 of the 50 states. And, even though I'm in Pennsylvania now, it's amazing when you get out to, say, Oklahoma, how flat it is, or when you're out in California, or just my son lives in Vegas, or, it's just so. And I think, the people are different too. I've been talking to a lot of comedians where the one thing I'm hearing when they play to a younger crowd, they adjust, like particularly stand-up comedians who, you know, when they play, they're not going to do certain stuff. They have to go down to the younger kids level,
right. The 20-year-olds are not going to understand the Who squeeze box,
or CPAP, or
or
yeah, or
CPAP.
they're just not going to relate.
Yeah,
Do you do
exactly.
that? Do you have like a set list, or that you, depending
Yeah,
on the
I
night?
can tweak. I could tweak. Have to
Yeah,
tweak on the fly, and then
yeah,
some audiences are more conservative, and then some really want dirty, and I don't really do dirty, but
yeah.
um, I could be a little bit edgier, but just only a little bit. I could go
No,
from
no.
G to maybe PG. That's
I,
about it.
you know what, and I do a lot of dirty. I mean, if you watched, and I don't recommend it, don't watch it, don't, because I'm just terrible.
Wow, what a commercial for yourself. Reverse psychology.
It isn't about me. It's called Your Comedy Minute for a reason. If this is terrible, I blame you. I'll say she was out of tune. She sucked. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding you. I'm
I had this other gig that I did that was really fun. I played in Alaska for the palliative care organization, and that doesn't
okay.
sound like fun, but it really was. They had me. The hard part was I had to sing at 7 o'clock in the morning every morning for 3 days in a row, and my voice is kind of like ha, at 7 o'clock in the morning, as you can imagine. And it's still light out at 10:30, but I'm like, I gotta go to bed,
Yeah.
pulling all the curtains and everything. And they were so great. It was so funny to me though, because they're palliative care, right? So they're taking care of sick people, but they have to be quiet all the time. So they start their conference. Usually, when you start a conference, they got the loud music and the flashing lights, and they're
Yeah.
welcome to 2024 palliative care, and hey everybody, and the way they started this conference, someone walks up to the podium and they go, "Okay, everyone, let's get started." How it started. Yeah, and then they would be on, and then at the end of the day, I'd do, okay, here's the top 10 ways you're at a palliative care conference. And one of them was like, everybody's webpage is www.tilde.html. It's like this. And how are you supposed to write all this down, really? And your gift bags, the swag bags are like Reiki beads and
I knew
eye
it.
masks, and yeah,
Oh God.
they were the nicest people. We had such a good time. I would play to start the day, and then I'd play either right before or after lunch, and then and play at the end of the day. I did that for 3 days in a row, and it was great. And I can't tell you how many times I heard the word suppository. Apparently, that's a big thing in palliative care.
Okay. Well, we don't have a lot of time left. Do you want to do another song
We're
or
gonna
no?
end on
No,
suppository.
no, 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 no. I don't, I mean, I only do, 40 minutes max. I can, the thing will shut off.
Understood. Yes, that's Zoom for you.
No, I'm broke, man. I'm so broke I can't pay attention. But no, I don't know if I told you or not. It's called Your Comedy Minute, and I always ask people at the end if they have a favorite thing, be it a story or a song or something that whenever you think about it makes you laugh, like they're the Alaska trip or something. And I always ask people at the end, do you have a comedy minute? So, I hope we have time to finish with that.
With what my favorite thing to laugh
Yeah,
at?
yeah, just something. It can be a story, like that, whatever it is.
Oh gosh, I don't know. On the spot, I was watching Friends last night. I love Friends rerun
Okay,
episodes. But my favorite thing in the world is just laughing with my husband. He's so funny. He never wants to
really,
be stand up, but he is the funniest person. And
that's great. That's
and
great.
I'll play a little bit of a song that we wrote together. How about
Okay,
that?
and we'll call this Your Comedy Minute. Okay,
All right.
what's the name? What's the name of the song, Carla?
You'll find out when you hear it.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry.
I've got a totally average woman. Stands about 5'3". I've got a totally average woman. Weighs about 153. Hey, I have to tell my weight to everybody. She's a mean, mean woman. Statistically mean. Average.
Yeah.
When she walks down the street, some people whistle. Some guys notice. Some don't. When she walks down the street, some people notice. Some don't. Most people don't. Some guys will whistle. Twice as many won't. She can make a blind man hear. Make a deaf man see. She could have any guy who is no better or worse than me. I've got a totally average woman. IQ of 100. That's it. Just 100. She's a mean, mean woman. Statistically mean. Baby, I would walk over room temperature coals for you.
Golly, Carla, you are amazing. I tell you what, I'm gonna rank this up there as one of my favorite Your Comedy Minute shows ever. Mainly because I love music so much, and you are a very talented guitar player.
Thank you.
I know a lot of really good guitar players,
Yes,
obviously.
you do.
Yeah, I do. So, I mean, the way you were very fluent, you're very good, man. Oh man.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
It was my pleasure. We got a couple more minutes here. Is there anything else you want to tell the people? Again, I'll put all the links: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, everything. I'll put everything. Do you have any shows or anything else you want to mention before we go?
Well, I'll be at the Naughty Goose. That's NAUTI, nautical, I guess. Goose in Maryland on May 30th. If that's
Okay.
if this show gets out before then.
It should be out before the 30th.
And yeah, and carlau.com, CARLAU.
Okay, yeah, I got the homepage.
And what else? So well, I do a live stream every month, so it's really fun.
I mentioned Funny Friday something on yeah, they're great.
It's the second Friday, and I do some songs, and we do dad jokes, and we do an interactive Mad Lib, and it's really fun.
That's on Facebook Live. Yeah, I saw that. You have several
It's
of those.
also on YouTube, and it's also on Twitch because some people
on Twitch. That's right. Well, listen, take care of yourself. Thank you so much. I'm from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It was my pleasure. Take care.
All right, you too.
Hang for a second. I'm gonna stop the recording. We'll talk for a second off the record.
Okay.